is owing you. Oh, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, everyone. Hello, people watching. Yes, today we are full of smiles. It's been a good Wednesday, and we are all full of smiles here. Again, your mom's chat. We are here with you to once again on a Wednesday evening to chat with you about life, about moms, about being diaspora moms, about raising our children in the diaspora. So we thought it would be an interesting topic to talk about because we know that there are fellow moms out there that experience the same things that we've got. We've come a long way to where we are now, away from our families, and we've got to adopt to a different lifestyle. And in adopting to that different lifestyle, it includes the relationship that we build with our children. So today we thought we'd dive into our moms discussing how we are able to achieve that with our children that we have brought we brought to the world in the diaspora. Any of you watching out there, wherever you are watching, we want this to be as interactive as possible. If you are a diaspora mom, if you're an immigrant mom living away from your home, you will get what we are talking about. Let's be interactive as possible. Put in the chat box if you think anything and we'll respond. One of us who is checking the chat box, we can respond to that. If you've got any views, any ways that you are also doing things that you're doing with your kids in encouraging a strong bond, just put it in the chat box. Put wherever you're watching us from, share this to anyone you on your feed so that they can be part of this chat tonight. So as I said today, we are just going to talk. Our moms are just going to tell you how they bond with their children. I don't know where we've always been here. We are here every Wednesday. We might need to do an introduction again for some of you that have just joined us today and don't know us. We are all moms. First of all, my name is Harriet. I'm originally from Ghana. I live in Liverpool. I'm a full-time social worker and I have two daughters.
And I am Obia Winnie, a mom of two as well. And I just want to quickly welcome everyone who is watching on our different pages, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. Welcome everyone. And I am a technical engineer. I also own a digital business on the side. Thank you.
Welcome everyone. If you're on here, please share because we are global. So we want everybody to know how global we are. My name is Eunice. I'm from Ghana. I'm based in Norway, and I'm a mom of two teenage girls as well, and a social worker.
Hello, my name is Grace. I'm also a mom of two, a healthcare worker, and I do this on the side.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elfrida. I live in the UK. I'm originally from Ghana. I have two teenage boys. I have a full-time work I do, and I do this business on the side. As you listen to us, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat box and we'll answer your questions. And once you come on, tell us where you're watching from because this is a global platform. We're always excited to see how global we are. So just tell us where you're watching from.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much, my fellow hosts, for introducing yourselves. Wouldn't keep you waiting. It's a chat that we are just going to be real. We are real moms here. You've seen us. You've seen us. You've seen our faces. You know how real we are. We are just here to chat. We'll just start the ball rolling and then get into it and tell you what we do just to keep that bond going. We've all come from different walks of life. They've probably, from my experience, things were not as smooth as they were when I was growing up. They're probably because of where I grew up and I had to adopt to different changes to be able to create that relationship. And I believe my moms have also had to do the same. So we'll let one of them start off by telling us probably Obi, you would want to start off by just telling us some of the things that you do to create that strong bond with your beautiful children.
Okay. Wow. It's kind of a very it's been quite a try time, especially now I have kids who are both entering their teenagers, and also those who are still claiming they're not toddlers anymore, and they keep trying to remind you they're not toddlers anymore, and you should stop calling them kids. And some of them they're entering the teen and they don't want to enter the teen. So it's kind of a mixture. So how do I create bond with my children? I create a bonding with my children by showing, number one, physical affection. Physical affection in my house is an amazing things, because personally for me growing up, I was into hug, kisses. I did that as a child in my family. So growing up doing it with my children is a norm. Yes, some family find it quite daunting and find it quite weird, but to be honest, good night kiss, good morning kiss, good morning hugs, good night hugs is a well done deal in my family. And this has been a routine from the word go. Once I had them from babies up to now, they're all grown up. They still do it and they love it. One thing you should know about children is while kids are growing up, yes, they're growing up, we parents tend to actually leave them to fly the nest, and the affection gets cut off within those time from maybe age 10, 11, 12. No, mine continues. So the hugging and kissing and everything is still a down deal in my house. And then whilst we are doing this, there are other things like cuddling. We have something my family called the cuddle time. Cuddle time is weekends when we're doing our movie night. We choose a movie where everybody will watch, whether you like it or not. Some wants to watch action movie, others want to watch, but we all agree to select a movie and watch that movie. And that actually, we laugh, especially the Disney channels. I'm sure there are so many adults that still enjoy the Disney Channel action movies and like the Transformers. There's so many things you can watch, and that creates bonding, because as we are watching it, we are discussing the characters and we are selecting our best characters. And some people are pretending they're the princess. Me, I'm fighting to be the princess too. And that actually helps to create a bond between you and your kids. And that's what I do personally. When you hug, and whilst we're doing that, we all cuddled up in the chair. One thing I've learned about hugging, giving kisses, actually creates an emotional bonding between you and your kids. Why? Because you're very close. And when you're very close with your children, if anything happens to them or they are going through a lot of things, they will share with you, because they are your friend. And I'm not saying just be just friends with your kids. You'll be a friend, but you are their parents. So I'm just going to stop there, but these are the main two things we do in our family that actually has fostered bonding between my children, and we have extended it to even aunties and uncles. But I'm going to stop there. So that's it for me for now, because it's quite
I like the hugging and the kisses and things. I've got a little one who is my little shadow. Oh. Tell you, I've got a little shadow. She's always here. I'm surprised that today she's not actually here. Most of the time she's always
come around soon
when I'm doing my lives, you know. And as Obi said, hugging and kissing and showing that affection, a lot of children want to feel belonging, and by doing that you are getting them closer to you. And as parents, we want a situation where our kids find it easy to communicate with you, and by having that bond with you, making them feel that they can come to you, because bonding and hugging, you're holding them together. So that's that affection. Your kids know that, you know what, I can go to mom and talk about, oh, this has happened in school. I know I can talk to mom about it. I know I can talk to dad about it. I know I can talk to this person, because you have created that relation. You've created that relationship that you embrace them. So they're able to talk to you about them. And I like that. I know some people, obviously, Obi said that when she was growing up, it existed, and it existed in her family hold. It did happen in my family. There are people that grew up that didn't have that
Yeah.
physical connection with their parents. They just, you get up in the morning, you get up and you get carried on. You know, it felt weird. It felt weird to hug someone. In most cultures, it is a weird feeling to hug a person.
Yeah.
But as I said, we are in a culture where it's acceptable, and in this culture, you know, kids wonder and they want to be able to be loved.
Oh,
you know, we would carry on with our next sister. Do you want to tell us a bit more about how you deal with your kids to create that relationship or bond with your kids? Eunice, do you want to go?
Oh boy, yeah. You know, being a mother in the diaspora and having kids, when my kids were small, I thought that was a challenge. But if you have teenage kids in your house, you realize that was even the easiest part of having kids, right? I have 2 grown teenagers in my house, and every day is like I feel like I've lost that control as a mother, because you can't just impose stuff on them. Communication is the key in this era
This
of
age, yeah.
raising teenage kids, you know. So I feel like even though they are our kids, we brought them to this earth, but the system in return they owe these kids more than us. So if even though they are your kids, but they listen more, because these kids were brought up in the daycare. I remember, I can't even remember how often we spent so much time with them, because it was just in the weekends. You drop them off, you pick them in the evening, they come home, they just have 1 or 2 hours and they go to bed. So at the end of the day, it's the system that raised them up in a way. So they are more like knowing what's going on out there than how you want to raise them back at home. So you need to strike a balance there. And now that they've become teenagers, if you know, friendship outside are more important than family. That's what I've noticed. When they were small, it was more about family and being home, but now friendship is more important than being with family. Let me set an example here. On Friday, I was so much in the hurry to get home. I was like, oh my God, let me get home and we'll see what we'll do for fun. I just got in the house, and I think I saw one of them going out. Where was she going? Oh, she was meeting a friend. The other one, she was going for sleepover. I was like, what's going on? Their dad was out as well. So I was left alone. So I just sat in the house. I was like, how it is to have teenagers. Yeah, so you just don't assume that they'll be home in the weekend, so you spend time with them. You need to talk to them. You need to ask them, communicate, ask, what are your plans during the weekend? And you'll be able to strike out something. And one important thing is also active listening. You know, they ask questions indirectly, and just to see whether you are listening or not. And you know, everybody's always busy with their normal stuff. You might be sitting on your PC working, or on your phone, or you're cooking, and they're like, mama, they're saying something. It's important. But because you are busy, you might just respond without even thinking about what they said. You know, they are giving you a clue of something that's happened during the day, something that it's of importance that they don't want to come and ask you directly. So they want to see whether you actually pay attention, you know. So I would just respond quickly, just to get them off my back, because they're both calling. Who are you going to listen to? And I'm also dealing with something, right? But lately I realized that, or one of them complained to their dad, the mommy doesn't listen. She doesn't listen. She just says what she wants to say. She doesn't listen to what I say. And I also have feelings. I'm like, oh my God, I've forgotten they are not babies anymore. They have feelings, you know. So I just started paying attention to that. So whatever I'm doing, if one of them comes to me, I just have to, if it's my phone I'm holding, I have to drop it. I just have to stop to listen to what they are saying, you know, just to encourage that expression, to create a safe space for them to know that if there's something going on, rather than communicating with the system or with their friends out there, they can always come to me and talk to me. Because as Harriet mentioned, some of us, when we're growing up, it's a different culture altogether from the culture we are experiencing right now. There are certain things you can't even go and tell your mommy. You can't tell your dad about it. Even your own elder sister or you can't. There wasn't that open communication. You have to always do stuff and hide, and you know. And we thought that was the normal norm. But here, kids are free to express themselves, So if you don't open up and don't give them that, encourage them to express themselves or to come to you if they need something, they'll rather go out there and then to another company, a bad company, and just go and ask for opinions and ask for advice on what to do, which in the long run will not serve any good, will not bring any good. What should I say? It might not encourage the situation. The situation will not be good, and then it's like we are trying to prevent, not to now start to mend the damages. So you prevent than to to let it happen before you start to solve it. So what I would say is, in my case, I'm in the phase where open communication, active listening, and then encouraging a safe space for them to come. It's where I'm working on. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm still trying to get my way out. So I'm still working on that because I've had a complaint. So I have to work very hard on that.
Oh, thank you very much, Eunice. We have got people who have joined us, and there are a few comments. Obi, do you want to look at the comments for us, please? People are commenting.
Yes,
thanks so much. Yeah, do you want to do that for us?
Latifa from watching from Nashville, USA. Thank you. And she says, I can relate. You feel like you are living with your mates. I think
yes.
I'm not sure what language is this one. I'm just going to bring it up. And we have a stress pani.
Yes, it's in Ghanaian language. Stress pani.
He says you need a massage.
When moms are bred, this one is not girls are bred.
Moms are bred.
Thank you, Jennifer. And we have I love you guys from Express J. Thank Empress J. Thank you very, very much for watching. And Ganda says, go girls. Thank you. And Senite.
Senite, thank you.
Thank you for your support. So we go to the next one.
You see already we have a few people who can relate with our with this story. And it's really a story. And I like all the things that Eunice said about communication with our kids. And it's a vital bit of bonding with our kids, especially in this part of the country, in the diaspora. You need to be communicating with your children. At the moment, I've got a teenage daughter, and I feel that communication is very vital. We have our moments where we just communicate. We have a moment. And I think when you communicate with your kids, they feel comfortable enough to tell you things that are going around them. And for instance, there are a lot of things, bad things, a lot of things, peer influence, will I say, a lot of peer influence around. And if you don't create that safe space to be able to talk to your children, they can't tell you, my daughter has told me certain things that, if I didn't have that communication with her, I probably wouldn't have got it out of her. Which has helped her in a way, because it's then giving me the opportunity to be able to advise her around those things. So communication is a key, especially when they get to the age where they're in their teenage years. They go out there, they meet all these friends, and if you don't have that space where you can have those conversations, you wouldn't probably like what's going to happen. Let's go on with our experiences around bonding with our children. Grace, do you also want to share some of your experiences and how you manage to create that relationship with your kids?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. So it all comes to quality time, having quality time with your family, having quality time with their children. You have to create a space where, like all the time, you have to be with them. Create time to bond. Today we are reading. We're watching movie today. Tomorrow we are doing. So you create the time, and also. Because these days there are phones and there are iPads, and these children, they spend more time on those things. So if you don't make these family times so that you put these things away, then they tend to like, you don't bond. you know,
Yeah.
they don't come. You don't come together because everybody is busy with phone
Busy.
or
Yeah.
iPad.
Oh, gadgets.
Yeah, so we have
Yeah.
to create this time where we say today we are reading, Friday we are watching movie. Like Obi said, you have to, you know, bring them together by creating activities so that you people can do together something that interests you, interests them, all of you together. You can share, and then, you know, and going out on weekends, you know, going to the park. My daughter like going to the park a lot. Even if I come from work and I'm tired, she still wants to go to the park.
Oh,
And if you
lucky
don't
you.
take her, she says, you promised, so you have to do it.
that's it.
Yeah, so you can't say yes to her and say no tomorrow. She doesn't understand you're tired. So you have to make time for all these things, and it doesn't matter if you're tired, or just make time for
Yeah.
them, and, you know, try and get these gadgets away once in a while, because it's taking too much of their concentration, and they don't talk to you if they have these things. You have to put it away so you will be able to communicate with them. Like Harriet said, as Eunice said, communication is important in this. So you communicate, you bond, you watch films, you laugh together, go out, play together. There's time for everything anyway, but you
Yeah.
just have to make time for these things so that you can bond.
That's
Oh, that's
amazing.
great. That's great. Great stuff, Grace. I'd add the fact that in doing all these things, there's got to be a routine to doing those things, because kids like routines. So for
Yeah.
instance, you're saying there to your kids that you want to do this, they've got to, between this period of time and between this period of time, this is what you're going to do. Like as Grace said about the phones. In my house, you can come to my house and everybody is on their phone. Everybody is sat. We are sat down, all of us, and we are on our gadgets. We don't have. It got to a point where I had to put I had a little basket. I put a basket on a table, and at some point we all put our phones inside, including the parents as well. You put it for a few hours, 2 hours, and it was routine. Between that period, everybody's phone was going to be in there, and it was a time that we sat down and we talked. The TV will switched off, and we will talk, because we realized that everybody wanted to be on their own, and that was a way of getting away from that gadget and getting to know ourselves. And at the end of the day, you're able to share things. You've gone to school, what's happening in school. I've been to work, what's happening in work. You're able to, and that is communication. Again, as Eunice said. Elfrida, do you also want to say, she's the mom of the boys amongst us. So she probably has a different experience to us. Yeah.
So I'll just start by saying, let's learn to celebrate our children's successes, like acknowledge their achievements, because as moms in general and as diaspora moms, we get really stressed with work and with other commitments. And when you come home and you are tired, the tendency is to look out for the things that have not been done well, and then you start ranting, you start complaining, you start shouting at them. But how about the things they have done well? We tend to ignore them. We act like they haven't done it. I mean, my younger son, she is the type who, like, he's much closer to me because he's younger. The older one is now like a big man, so he goes about his day. But the younger one, and he's very sensitive. When I'm not around, he might do certain things. Sometimes he just wants bonding time, so he will do things that he knows I like, expecting that when I come home, I'll acknowledge it and hug him and applaud or do something. And then when I come and it's quiet, he will wait a bit and ask, like, "Mom, did you see this?" Oh, so you did not see that? Oh, do you not have anything to say about this? And I realized what he's asking for is like positive reinforcement. He's just trying. Yes, he's just trying to get the attention he needs because he knows without doing that, I mean, I probably will come home tired. I'll just eat and go to bed or something like that. So they have their way of trying to get our attention, and giving celebrating the achievement is one of the ways. It doesn't have to be a big thing. You come home and the home is tidy, celebrate it, because you could have come home to a very messy home, and you come home and they have cooked, they have put something together, even if it's not a nice meal, just enjoy it with them and encourage them to keep growing.
Close your eyes and chop.
Yes. So just celebrate their successes, celebrate the achievement, whatever they do around you, whether it is big, don't wait till they get a trophy from school or something huge before you celebrate. There is always opportunity to just give them a positive feedback about something they have done. And even if they haven't done it well, you have a way of saying it, which will make them do it better the next time, rather than decide, I'm not doing it because there's no point. My son says that a lot. What's the point? What's the point? So yeah, if you make them feel like there's no point in trying, then they will not even try anymore. So celebrate the little things that they do. And then the other thing, as diaspora moms, we are very busy. We tend to not ignore, but skip a lot of their milestones. So they are having school assembly, they are having sports day, they are having open evenings, we need to make time to be at these events. They might not be important to us because we think, oh, this is children's thing, but they are so important to these children. And if you don't show up and other parents come, they feel like, do my parents love me at all? How come my parents don't ever come to my school activities and maybe church activities? They have been picked to play a role in a play. They have put in a lot of effort to get it right. If on that day you don't show up, it makes them feel like they wasted their time. I mean, the other parents there, they are not their parents. They want to show off to you as a parent. So they want you to be there to appreciate what they have done. So we need to also make time to attend these events. These are things that they are going to remember in the future. As I sit here, I still remember those PTA meetings that nobody attended for me, that I had to go on the street and call someone, can you please come and sign my PTA form for me? And those ones that somebody came, and then I felt like, oh, I also have somebody. This is the person who came for me. So because of those experiences, I try to attend as many of their school events as I can. I mean, I always put them in my timetable. As soon as I get those invitations, I make sure I plan them within my routine. And another way to bond with them is to pay attention to what is going on in their lives. Is it schoolwork? Are they having problems with their friends? Are they having issues whatever is going on in their lives? They are your children. You've been with them long enough to know them. When there are changes in their behavior, you have to pick those changes up and try to find a way to get the information out of them. My children are teenagers now, they are boys. So sometimes they feel like, oh, mom would not understand this, mom. So I find creative ways to get into their space. Like I see this person who is always bubbly and who is always happy and all that, today quiet and withdrawn. I'll get into their space and try to find out what is happening. What happened in school today? Is there anything you want to talk to me about? I mean, unfortunately, I know their friends. I know who they hang out with. So how is this person? Oh, did you see him at school today? Well, so by bringing up those communications, you pick up things about what is happening, and then you can address it. You can encourage your children, you can advise them, and you can help them, because teenage years are very difficult years for both parents and their children. We always talk about teenagers from our perspective as they are being like all grown up and all rude and all, but we forget that they are also going through a phase that is very difficult for them. So by being close to them and bonding with them, you help them through those teenage years. And and they can become happy and responsible adults. So that's the little bit I will add to that.
Oh, I love that. Mom of boys. You see, she's giving us a lot of nuggets that we need to take away today. Some of us who are still waiting to have our boys.
Wow. In your retirement life,
Full stop for you.
The one thing I've taken away from what she said is the achievement. We need to acknowledge the achievement. It's very, very important. As diaspora parents, especially, I know what I'm saying because especially, we have the attitude our children must be achievers. They go to school and kind of tell you that they've got 40% and you expect them to get 100%. So your face attitude, I've done that past, I've done that before. I'm not saying that and I know what it does because we expect our children's achievement because we've come from a place where you've got to grow up, you've got to go to university, you've got to become a doctor, you've got to become a lawyer. So we expect high. So every month you've got when they come from school, they tell you that we've done, I've got this. You've got to be happy for them, and that you realize that the next day they go back and that is the achievement. But when you start to not to embrace those little achievements, then you don't know where you are coming from. And the other thing Elfrida mentioned that stuck with me again is attending our kids' functions. And again, we as diasporans are fan of it. We've come to this country, we want to make all the cash. So we are working all the shifts on this world. And you don't have time to go for your children's activities.
Oh my God.
Yes, and we have people who are corporate. We're doing all the shifts because we want to provide for our kids, it's understandable. But then we are depriving our children of our love. We are depriving our children. And that's why as diasporans, and as moms, we have chosen, and as moms here, we've chosen a different path by finding something that we can be at home.
Yeah.
To be able to attend some of this activity, this milestone, be part of our kids' lives.
Yes.
So if you are watching us out there and you want to be able to be there for your kids, you be able to be present for your kids, to attend their school functions, to be able to take them anywhere, to be part of their lives, then you need to start thinking of something, reduce your hours and do something that would be something that you can do at home to be around that. Because the more we are away from our kids, we are giving them more opportunities to do things that you might not want them to do, to engage in not very good things.
Yeah.
So it's something
because that's when they have their meetings in the evenings. So if you are running shifts, then you are always away in the evenings, right?
Yeah. So
like me, I always make time to go, because I know I work in the evening. When it's that time, they send letters, so you just have to prepare yourself.
Yes, you've got to factor that into that. You've got to factor that into it. And as Elfrida said, you sometimes go to these schools, and unfortunately, I've been to schools where you go to a school and you see all the kids that have parents having come are people of us, are not there for their children.
Yeah, right.
One time I was ready. And the time came, I was just waiting for the time. And
you go and get there, and it's all us.
we are looking for the dollars. So
you see,
we're chasing the pounds. We're forgetting that we have brought children into the world that we need to be there.
It happens, but not intentionally sometimes.
Yes, I know this is a very interesting topic. So we are there. We've had a lot of engagement from our viewers as well. It's so we will leave you with it. We'll probably come out with something again that has to do with children in the future, something that has to do with our families and things like. I think this has been really an interesting topic, and we'll leave you all to it. If you have any comments, anything to add, any advice, please put it in the chat box, and we'll look at it and review it, and probably come back with another series of this. Thank you so much, all our viewers tonight. It's been a pleasure. We've enjoyed communicating and interacting with you, viewers as well. We will leave you all tonight. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely morning, wherever you are watching us from. We will see you again, same time next week with another interesting episode of Mom's Chat.
Ciao.
Good night, everyone. Bye for now. Ciao, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.